Good morning, students. Welcome again in your English class. Today we shall study the third chapter of your book First Flight. So take out the page number 32 in your book and read the story with me. I will tell you the brief summary of it. The chapter Two Stories About Flying is a beautiful combination of two inspiring and motivational stories. The first one is His First Flight, written by Liam O'Flaherty, and the second one is The Black Aeroplane, written by Frederick Forsyth. Today we shall discuss about its first part, that is His First Flight. This story is about a family of seagulls. The main character of the story is the young seagull who is unable to fly even after several tries. And the other characters in the family are the mother seagull, the father seagull, his two brothers, and one sister. The first question raises in your mind that what is seagull? As you can see on the screen, seagull is a medium to large sized bird found near the seas. Its size is about 12 to 30 inches. It is grey and white in color with black marking on head and wings with longish bill. Webbed feet. It is carnivore who eats crabs and fish. It lives the life up to 49 years, and like human beings it likes to live in family. Liam O'Flaherty was an Irish novelist and short story writer who wrote about brutal naturalism and psychological analysis and poetry. His First Flight is a magnificent story about courage and self-confidence. We all know that fear is the most negative feeling that blocks one's progress. We all have fear of doing something for the first time, and one can conquer it with courage and sincere efforts. One needs to believe in self to overcome all the hurdles of our life. Moreover, this story tells us the importance of family, especially the mother who knows every weakness and strength of her children. Can you imagine of an infant who is learning to take a first step? He takes a first step, then he falls down, but he wakes up and takes another step. He falls down again, but he continues his effort. To cover a distance of 100 miles, we have to take a first step. It is similar for the birds also. Flying is the most vital activity for their survival as they have to fly in search of their food. Generally, we see the birds flying in the sky. Is it easy for them to fly for the first time? No, it is very challenging and full of fear. So let's see how the young seagull overcome his fear and how his mother helps him. The young seagull was afraid of flying as he thought that if he flew, his wings would not support him and he would fall down in the sea below and drown. Even his parents were calling to him shrilly. Shrilly means they were talking to him in very loud sound and very sharply they were talking to him. Upbraiding means scolding. They were scolding him and threatening him that if he doesn't fly, he would die of hunger. But he lacked confidence and he did not move. Despite making countless efforts, his parents, brothers, and little sister had flown away and left him alone on the rock. That was 24 hours ago. The sun was rising, it was getting very hot, and he felt the heat. He had not eaten for long. He wanted to reach his parents, but there was a deep sea below, and the edge on which he was sitting was very high. The seagull closed his eyes, standing on one leg. He had the other leg hidden under his wing. He pretended to sleep. He thought that his parents didn't take notice of him. However, mother was looking at him. He saw her tearing at a piece of fish with her beak. He was mad to see the food, as he did not eat anything for 24 hours. He gave out a sound to get it. His mother flew across, trying to get nearer to him with a piece of fish. The seagull was very happy. He waited for a moment in surprise. He wondered why his mother did not come nearer. He was so mad with hunger that he dived at the fish. He fell outwards with a scream. Scream means shout. He was shouting continuously and then he fell outwards and downwards into the space. His mother had swooped upwards. Swooped means pounced. Pounced, that means she moved upwards. Then a great fear caught the young seagull, but it only lasted for a moment. The next moment he felt his wings spread outwards, and the wind rushed under his stomach and against his wings. He was soaring slowly downwards and upwards. Soaring means flying upwards. As he was flapping his wings, so his wings were going upwards and downwards. He was no longer afraid. The seagull gave out a joyous scream. It means very happily he was calling ga ga ga. His mother also motivated him, and then his father flew over him screaming. Then he saw his brothers and sister flying around him. They were roaring and diving very happily and cheerfully. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly. He saw a vast green sea beneath him. His parents and his brothers and sister had landed on the green surface of water ahead of him. They were calling him to do the same thing. He dropped his leg to stand on the green sea, but he was very tired and weak with hunger. He couldn't rise. His feet sank into the green sea, but he sank no further. He was floating on it. Around him there was his family crying and praising him. They were encouraging and cheering him up. It was offering him scraps of dogfish. So finally and successfully the young seagull had made his first flight. So you see, students, how the young seagull has been succeed to overcome his fear of flying after a lot of hardships. Now we shall talk about ourselves. Do you ever had a similar experience while learning new things? It may be your first day at school or first day in the examination. I am sharing one of my experiences of my childhood. I had a similar experience while learning to ride a bicycle, and I fell down every time in my initial attempts and developed a fear of cycling which was very difficult to overcome. And I wanted either my father or my mother to hold the cycle from the back. But later on, after a lot of practice, I enjoyed it without fear and started riding a bicycle with a great confidence. So it happens with all. We face some problems in the initial stage while learning new things. Due to the fear of failure, we hesitate to perform a task or to do something new. But if someone is determined to do something, then success is assured, and especially when your parents are on your back to support you. And it is rightly said that practice makes a man perfect. So students, I am giving you one assignment on page number 36 of your book. You can see that the question number 4 and 5. It is about your experience while you learn something new and where your parents encouraged you to do something that you were too scary to try. So do this in your notebook, and later on while we shall have class, I shall check and we shall discuss this topic in the class. Thank you and have a nice day.